We might as well get started. I know it's hot, crowded. I want to welcome you to the 3rd Annual Creek Nation Festival. Tonight starts the events that will run through Sunday afternoon. First on the agenda we'll have the Lord's Prayer done by Regina Lowe of Willeka, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. William Wynn of Willeka. And the singing will be done by Margie Whitehouse. She's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Edward Wright of Wetumpka and the niece of Charles Fish, who's Vice Chairman of the Dustin Indian Community.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Thank you. As you know, this is our 3rd annual event, which will include our Creek Nation Rodeo. And this year's festival is planned and implemented by the communities. They each elected their representative to represent them on this festival committee. And I know most of y'all sitting out there, and I appreciate this chance to do the MCN. They asked me to do it. But the man responsible for a lot of things going on in the Creek Nation today, the fact that our people are again working together for events, for programs, and that's our Honorable Chief, Claude Cox.
Thank you, Steve. I also want to welcome each of y'all here to the Creek Nation and the festivals and the programs that we have lined out for the next evening and 2 days that are ahead of us. It's took a lot of work, a lot of time, and these committees have done a real good job, I think, in putting this thing together, and hope that everybody will stay and enjoy throughout these Creek Nation activities. I thought a few years ago when I became your chief and started planning for things like this, walked in this room here, and I thought, my goodness, that's a great big room. But you know, we need one about 5 times this size. Don't you think so, Harley? Well, if the good Lord's with us, my health holds out, by this time next year, we hope that we'll have one 5 times this big. It's been a challenge to a lot of us to work within the tribe and to bring these things about. And we've had some real good support from both the Indian and the non-Indian in bringing these about. And we're hopeful that in the near future that you will see a lot more things developing here in the Creek Nation. I'll not take up too much of your time because I know we're kind of close here, and it kind of reminds me of a meeting in Macon, Georgia, right after I got elected, and it came up a storm that run us all in Macon, Georgia National Park building down there, and it was just about a room a little bit smaller than this, and they didn't have any air conditioning. Boy, we like to melt it. So, but we do have a little air conditioning here with that good old public service electricity that's coming down the pike that hope will keep us cool. I worked there for about 35 years, so I know that they won't fail us. I'd like to recognize some of the people that I've had a chance to meet this evening that has come quite a ways. We have with us Miss Nesport from South Dakota and a group of children from Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Would they stand, please, and be recognized? Miss Nesport, we're really happy to have you have this group with us, and they're going to stay with us till Monday. So we'll want to show them all of Creek Nation and what we have here. Thank you. Also, we have, I don't know whether he'd be a stranger or not, but he came from a long ways. Ed Perkins, who is from Window Rock, Arizona, a Navajo, who was here at our first annual events here about 3 years ago. And so this evening I walked in here and here he sat. Ed, would you stand? We're glad to have you back here with us today. We have also here with us a family who I think needs to be recognized because their daughters had a great hand in putting this thing together. And I think that they were the ones that need to be recognized here tonight. That's Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Five. You know, it's always hard to find people to judge in these different events, especially in these princess contests and different things. And so they throwed that up on me to select a few people to do the judging. And you know, I didn't have a bit of trouble. I believe if I just asked for volunteers to just come in. These boys, they came right in and they've done a good job. And at this time, I'd like to introduce these gentlemen to you. We had one that was not able to be here with us this evening. That's Dr. Leola Taylor from the Eufaula Boarding School. She couldn't be here with us this evening. We do have Richard Larney, Police Chief from Henrietta, Oklahoma. Sitting next to him is our Vice Chief, Solomon McCombs. And next to him is a young man that I kind of feel like it's my own. I brought him here several years ago, and he worked for Public Service Company for about 25 years. And when I left away, he took over and he's running the Muscogee area here. Jimmy Lewis, Public Service Company, Muscogee. Another young man here that grew up right here, might say right under my wing. I've known him for a long time. That has really made a lot of tracks around through the different schools, and he has wound up with the Bureau of Indian Affairs in Muscogee, Oklahoma. Harley Little. I also would like to introduce the Vice Chief's wife, Mrs. McCombs. I'm real thankful, and I can't thank those people enough that has been working with me and bringing these things about. And I want to thank the communities that have been organized real late, and they've come a long ways in a short time. And they've done a real good job working with Steve. And I think you'll be seeing these communities out in different areas that's going to really identify the Creek Nation in a lot of areas, as it has right here. I'll not take up too much time, and Steve, if you'll come back to the podium, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. There's one person that Chief forgot to mention because she just walked in, and she has been the chairman of the festival committee that the community members representatives voted for as chairman. She is also on the council, and she is also the chairperson of the Walika community. And if you want to see a community going, go watch that one. Nettie Scott. Tonight, we're going to do the final judging of the Princess Contest. We had the preliminaries yesterday in talent and in the personality. Each one of the contestants met with the judges and talked with them individually and were scored. Tonight, they will be in their traditional dress, and this is their final judging. We have 9 candidates representing 9 communities in the Creek Nation. At the last meeting of the Creek Nation Festival Committee, they expressed the idea that maybe our princess one day may become Miss Indian USA. So this could be a start tonight for the Creek Nation Princess to go all the way to the top as the #1 Indian girl in America. And in our judging, they have expressed their ideas that the Creek people could have an outstanding contest, and they have given us ideas and have expressed their need that they would come to one of our meetings and help us plan next year's festival. So this year is a good year, but next year will be better because a lot of these people in these communities have never been a part of any type of planning that went into this festival. But they've been through it now, and they'll know what to do next year. Nettie says she's going to Honolulu. She ain't going to be around for elections. So, but she's been a good leader, and we've kind of looked up to her for her leadership, as has all the community leaders. They've taken it upon themselves to handle the events that's going to be going on Saturday. Yeager community took over the archery contest, raised money for their trophies that's going to be given out. Now this is the type of spirit that's going on in the communities. Now on with the contest. From the Castle Muscogee Indian community, we have Rowena Sands. Rowena is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jonah Sands of Castle, Oklahoma, and the granddaughter of Mrs. Lena Sands, also of Castle. She is a freshman at Seminole Junior College and is taking secretarial science. She likes to play basketball, softball, volleyball, and track. She received the Merit O Awards in basketball for 4 years, was the Spanish Club Queen, and has received medals in track. Next we have Ginger Lee, representing the Dewar Indian community. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Woody Lee of Hoffman, Oklahoma, and the granddaughter of Mrs. Mary Combs, also of Hoffman. She is a freshman at Connors College in Warner. She's got a lot of awards. She was cheerleader, FFA sweetheart, football queen attendant at Henrietta, FHA member of the month, won art awards at Umoga and Henrietta. She plays the piano for her church. She received the Reserve Grand Champion Award and many other awards and trophies in FFA. She likes horseback riding, softball, basketball, tennis. She likes to paint, draw, and play the piano. Representing the Duck Creek community, we have Sandra Brown. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. John Brown of Bixby and the granddaughter of Mrs. Alice Brown of Mounds. Sandra is a junior at Oklahoma State University at Stillwater. Her career interest is in fine arts and commercial design. She likes tennis, racquetball, and foosball. Representing the Dustin Indian community, we have Celia Ann Mickey. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Mickey of Dustin. Celia is attending high school and will be a senior this fall. She likes to play basketball, and she wants to be a physical education coach when she graduates. From the Glenpool Indian community, we have Susan Bible. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jean Bible of Glenpool. She is also the granddaughter of Mr. Alfred Wilson of Glenpool. She is presently attending Glenpool High School, will be a senior this coming fall. She plans to work as a secretary upon graduation. She was a cheerleader, student council representative, basketball queen, basketball all-metro, everything. From the Kellyville Indian community, we have Stephanie Winery. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Phil Winery and the granddaughter of Mr. Salo Felix of Kellyville. She is presently attending Kellyville High School and will be a senior this fall. She wants to attend or go into the medical field. She plays softball for the past 3 summers and also interested in track and basketball. Representing Okemah, Donna Watson. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ray Watson of Okemah, granddaughter of Mrs. Maddie Fisher of Waleeka and Mrs. Fanny Watson of Bryant. Donna will be a senior at Okemah High School this fall, and her career interests are in bookkeeping, interior design, fashion design, cosmetology, and she would also like to be a stenographer. She received a service award in art, and she was also in the junior-senior high school play this year. From Mvskoke Indian community, Etta Hicks. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Wilson Hicks of Okemah, granddaughter of Mrs. Lucy Roberts of Okemah. She is presently attending Waleeka High School. She wants to be a secretary, clerk, typist, or accountant when she finishes high school. She was class vice president and went to the interscholastic meet at Ada in bookkeeping, and she was also an usher at the senior prom. Senior graduation. From the Yeager Indian community, Connie Sewell. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Archie Sewell of Holdenville, and the granddaughter of Mrs. Lillian Scott of Holdenville. Connie graduated from Holdenville High School. Her career interests are in psychology and medicine. Her achievements in high school were in typing, science, English, basketball, and volleyball. It's a shame we have to have losers because they're all pretty and they're all talented. But whoever wins or whoever loses, we can be very proud of these girls. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ruth Harrington. She is the professor of speech and coordinator of Indian Studies at Northeastern Oklahoma State University at Tahlequah. She's born in Tulsa. She has a BA in speech, MA in speech, and a PhD in speech. And she's the co-commentator tonight in the fashion show portion of the program. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Ruth Harrington.
Thank you. And as you can quickly see, the contest is over. Now we're getting ready for the Fife collection. And it's my pleasure to be here to introduce you to the Fife collection. This is a sample line of clothing that we as Creeks can be very proud to say some members of our tribe have put together. from the very, very beginning. Each of the items in this collection has a label indicating that it is a part of the Fife collection, and each of the outfits is signed on the dress or on the outfit by the particular designer who constructed that particular outfit. You would like to know, I'm sure, the Creek people who are associated with the Fife collection. It's a family affair, and this, I think, is particularly outstanding. It is the Fife family, the James Fife family from Dustin, and the women in the family are the Fife collection. Mr. Fife has quite a collection. His wife, Carmen, the daughter, Sharon Fife, and the daughters, Carol Fife, Phyllis, Sandy, and Robin. All of these women have contributed to the show that you're going to be seeing this evening. I suspect that you may be a little interested in taking a picture or two, but if you would you mind? No pictures during the show. This is the way the designers would prefer it, please. I would like to tell you a little bit about my introduction to the Fife collection. It was last year at this time. I saw it advertised as a part of the Creek Festival. I already knew about the rodeo, and I decided, I believe I'll go look at the pretty clothes. And I did. It was fun to see, not only the pretty clothes, but the very fine spirit that was involved in this Creek family affair. Well, that acquaintance started a little something else, a desire on my part. I wanted a Creek dress. When I'd go to Indian activities, best I could do was sport a Creek necklace. Well, I managed, and I'd like to show you the dress that Phyllis Fife Patrick made for me. It took us a while. It didn't take Phyllis so long to make it, but it did take us a while to find the right pattern, the right style, to make it my special Creek dress. I'd like you to see the designs on the skirt on the front and the back, and to notice the belt with the dress. This is your first chance to see a dress in the Fife collection. I don't know that I deserve that, but the dress did, it seems to me. You see, now I have a dress that's my Creek dress that I can wear very proudly because the designs are Creek and the dress was made by my friend Phyllis Fife. It is a part of the Creek collection, though it stays at my house. I now would like to have you meet the other commentator who's going to help you to see the fashions that will be shown to you tonight. And my fellow commentator is that young lady who made my dress. And I'd like to tell you just a little bit more about her. She was born in Dustin, and she attended public school there. But not only that, Phyllis was also educated at the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe, at Northeastern Oklahoma State University, and has her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the University of Oklahoma, and I'm sure you know where that is. Phyllis has paintings that are hanging in a number of museums across the nation, and most recently, an honor that I think is particularly outstanding, one of her paintings has been reproduced in the new Indian art book, Songs from the Earth by Jamaica Highwater. This book was described by Dee Brown recently as a landmark in American Indian art, and the fact that Phyllis and other Creeks have made a contribution to this work is particularly noteworthy at this Creek Festival. Phyllis lives near Stillwell with her husband Don Patrick and her daughter Stacy. And after we got acquainted, we managed to have a show, a Fife collection show at Northeastern last winter that introduced a continuing education course to teach people how to do American Indian design techniques. We learned, because I enrolled, we learned patchwork, applique, beadwork, as well as ribbon work, My dress utilizes all of those techniques except patchwork. Patchwork's the only one I ever learned to do. But you'll get to see a little bit of all of these techniques tonight. And some were done by Phyllis and some by other members of the family. At this time, may I introduce to you my co-commentator, Phyllis Fife Patrick.
Thank you, Ruth. And I'm very glad I'm going to have a chance to see the fashion show tonight. Usually I'm working backstage and don't get to see it. I'm going to introduce each of our models. And I want to tell you, I like to give the models as much credit as possible because each of them have volunteered their time to make this fashion show possible. Some of them have traveled long distances. We have one from Stillwell, one from Tahlequah, some from the Muscogee area, and one from Newkirk, which is nearly all the way to Kansas. Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
Our first model is Sally Beaver Moore.
Sally is wearing a traditional dress worn by the Creek women of Indian Territory. It was adopted from the European styles of dress. The Creek dress, as no doubt all of us know, was not elaborate. Very little decoration was used, actually. Dark or subdued colors were used more than the bright colors. I think that Sally has a little something she'd like to show you in her pocket. You know, no doubt, that one needs a little money occasionally, and to tie it in the corner of your hanky is a pretty good idea. Great improvement over a purse. You don't lose things quite so much that way. And notice too, as I know you have, the long apron. You remember that it was used for dress up or for its utilitarian purpose of cooking. This particular outfit begins our show and gives you an idea of the traditional Creek Indian women's dress.
Jan Harjo Fowler from Henrietta is our next model.
For after dark, here is a long two-part evening dress. The lines fall free from the drawstring neck of the tunic to the full length of the skirt. The simple, soft layered effects are in the mainstream of high fashion this season. The geometric design of the satin ribbon is inspired by the Creek men's breechcloth designs.
Jan is married to Jackie Fowler, and they have one daughter, Sheila. She is the secretary for the Creek Nation.
If you look closely, just go ahead and clap. We like to clap. You can listen to us you got to hear us a good bit more. I did want to mention, though, do look for the signature on the dress. I saw it in red on that one, and I thought it might be simple to see. Keep looking, see if you can find one.
Ruth, I'd like to interrupt for a minute. We have quite a number of people waiting in the halls who weren't able to get seats, and Steve Wilson has said that we will have a second showing if the people in the hallway would like to go out and relax somewhere for a little while. We'll have a break and then repeat the fashion show so you can see it again.
That got some applause.
Mary Fife is next. Mary is employed by the Creek Nation Housing Authority.
And she is wearing a unique dress in this collection, this gold caftan. The only accent that this dress needs is that border of patchwork draped over one arm. The dress features one sleek fitted side open above the knee to allow for freedom of movement. This is a dress for all seasons.
Mary is married to my brother, Bill Fife, and they have two children, Cinda and Jeff. Mary's from the Ada area, and she's Chickasaw. Sandy Wilson.
And Sandy is wearing this white kettle cloth dress. It features a wide cape collar that comes to a point in the front. It's embroidered in white on the collar. in the serpent design. Dress was designed and embroidered by